Hi everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. Today we're going to make a 5x7 card and we're going to create an envelope to go with it. I'm going to emboss the front panel. I'm going to use the little hearts from this die set here, and this is the Perfect Panels and Lovely Layers collection. And then we'll use one of the stamps from the Creative stamps, and these are all available at CraftStash. So let's make a start with the die cutting. From the box collection, from the card one, I've taken an A4 piece of card and I've folded it in half. Now this has a non-cutting edge, so I've kept the non-cutting edge over the open ends. And I've run that through my die cutting machine, and that will produce for me two separate pieces. Then I've folded one of them back by about half an inch at the top and glued them together, and that gives me my card base. Then with the box element I have cut another piece, just one, and then I've used this die to cut another piece that is going to sit on the front of the envelope. So we're not creating a box, we're creating an envelope. Now from this set I've taken the stitched edge and I've cut another panel, and that's going to sit on the front of my card. And then using these two together I've created another panel that will also sit on my envelope. Now you will need a die cutting machine with an A4 platform to cut this element to the set. All the rest will fit through a smaller machine. Now if you take your stitched edge and another piece of white card, you're going to place that so that it sits just inside that stitched edge. You know that that is where you're going to cut your card. Now with this Perfect Panels set, I'm going to take the three hearts, they're all stitched edges, and I'm going to place these onto the panel that we've just cut. And I'm going to add them along the bottom here, and I'm going to die cut that through the machine. So I'm going to tape those in place so that they don't move. So once I've done that, I've got my hearts on my panel, and I'm going to take the embossing folder and I'm going to pop the panel inside, and I'm going to emboss it so that the pattern runs that way along the card. And once I've done that, that is the pattern that I have on my panel. So with my panel now cut, I'm going to take the With Love sentiment and I'm going to stamp it just along the bottom there, and then when I've done that it will look like this. Now one of the things you can do to create a different look for your cards is take your trellis panel and place it underneath the hearts, trim it off, and that's one card. But what I'm going to do is stack my hearts. So I'm going to take three of each size and I'm going to stack them together. And then with a fourth one, I'm going to colour it with my alcohol markers. Now I've coloured mine in red, orange and yellow, and they are going to sit inside this panel. I have to stamp the sentiment on there yet, but they're going to sit inside this panel like this. So that gives you yet another look for your cards. So there you have two ideas, but how about this for a third one? Create your base and your mat to go on top, cut your trellis, and then cut the hearts and colour them, but just add them separately to the card. And then add a little sentiment on the top, and you have a beautiful card there in another way to use your dies. And here's a fourth one. Now for this one I did exactly the same, and I stood and coloured the hearts purple. But then I thought, well, why not save myself a bit of work and cut the panel underneath and colour all the panel, and then when that sits there, that will sit on another card and give you another design with another sentiment. So I've added all these panels with foam tape and foam pads, and that's super sticky. That's from CraftStash. It's super sticky and will keep everything in place. So the tidy tray is also part of the essentials range at CraftStash, and I'm going to add a dot of glue and use my pickup pencil just to add the sequins to this. So there's all my sequins added to my card, and now all I need to do is just scoop these sequins back into the jar, and they're ready to use the next time I want to add some decoration to my cards. So now that we have 4 very pretty cards, let's go ahead and make the envelope that will fit any one of these. Obviously if you've got 4 cards you're going to need to make 4 envelopes, but I'm only going to make 1. So we'll fold all these edges in. Now this has got a score line in 2 different places there, so I'm not touching the top one, I'm just going to fold down the second one. And then we'll fold up this side. Now what we don't need are the tabs, so we can remove these tabs from the bottom on both sides, and we can remove these from the top, but we're going to cut these on an angle. Now the reason we're cutting those on an angle is because we're going to fit this onto the back. So we need to create an angle from this point up to the corner. So we're just going to cut it up there. And the same on the other side. Now we're going to just crease that really well. And we'll add some glue to the bottom, just along these little pieces here. And once that's grabbed and set up, we can add the next part to the card, to the envelope. Now just around the edges of this card, you're going to add your glue. Add plenty on because you don't want this to fall apart. And then you're going to add this panel to the top. Now the wet glue gives you a little bit of wiggle room, but I'm going to press it down really well with my bone folder. And I'm going to give that time to set up. And then we'll add the other panel to the top. So once this panel's set up, I'm going to add this. Now you can either add this trellis work to the back or you can add it to the front. And I'm going to put mine on the front. So we'll glue that in place. And then because I cut some hearts and coloured them and then realised that I didn't really need them, I'm going to add these to my card. And I've also got a sentiment that was surplus to requirements, so I'm going to put that on the front of the envelope as well. So we'll use some double-sided tape for this. We'll add these with some foam pads. So there's our envelope completed. Just to make sure that it closes nice and neatly, I'm going to use a Velcro dock. So I'm keeping the 2 fastened together. Pop them on one side and close the envelope, and then when you've done that you will have a really nice easy closure to your envelope, and that now will fit your matching card inside it quite easily and close up, and that's now ready to give to your recipient, and you've got 3 more there that you can make envelopes for as well. So there's the completed envelope and its card. 3 more cards there done with the same set of dies, and I've used the 5x7 complete card and box die set. I've used the perfect panels, hearts there and lovely layers. I've used the diagonal panel to emboss it, and I've used stamps from the Creative Stamps range, and that's all available at CraftStash. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one. And why not subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and then you'll never miss a video. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.